Good evening, everyone. So every time at this hour when you see me appear in front of you, you know it's Friday, right? So today is Friday. So we already come to 17th of September. And today we just have one day before. Yesterday was like a celebration for Malaysia Day. Yeah. So Malaysia Day, yesterday was our Malaysia Day. And today is our once upon a time. Make a wild guess where I'm going to take you today. Of course, go to my home country, which is Malaysia. So today I'm going to share you the series for Once Upon a Time. I think this is a story that I always enjoy the most. And I always remember because I almost killed myself, in this experience. And to be honest, I wasn't that adventurous at all because my job is a city guy, right? So from my past experience, whenever I travel, I'm not just only travel in city, and also previously, most of my experience is all in working either city or in the island. Okay? And I remember that was year 2009. Okay, year 2009, exactly 12 years ago. I was in the middle of searching for my career, that if I wish to continue and carry on is in the tourism. So what sort of tourism that I'm going to be involved? Because I've been working too much in island, in city, so I'm looking for some new elements. So in 2009, I met a group of youth. Okay, this group of youth, very interesting. It was introduced by one of my favorite old town also, which is on the north of Kuala Lumpur. You have to travel almost like 250 kilometers north to a state, Perak. Okay, Perak state, and the old town is my favorite city, Taipei. So today I'm not going to share to you is Taipei, but every time when people get to know about Taipei, you will think of Maxwell Hill. Okay, Bukit Larut, Maxwell Hill. So why am I sharing this? Because of that incidents in Bukit Larut, Maxwell Hill. I was introduced by the local council, which is Taipei Council. They were telling me like, Irina, we're going to have a new trail, but we're not going to start from the Maxwell Hill. Do you have the interest to do a hiking? And I was like, sounds great, right? Hiking, because in my life I never have hiking experience. I know about jungle trekking because I do a lot of jungle trekking. I used to work in the island, so most of the islands in Peninsula, in South China Sea, or maybe in even in the Straits of Malacca, we do have some jungle trekking. But hiking is something interesting. So I say, how many of us are going for the hiking trail? So they were saying that we're going to. It's an exploration trip. So the moment I hear exploration trip, so mean it's a virgin. So this trail is not yet been introduced to any tourists yet. So it's more on like exploration. So I say, what's my role play? Although they know that I do have some knowledge about ecotourism side, and they were like looking for like tourists. They said, why don't you just representing a tourist? So maybe you can give them some idea or give them some suggestion or your feedback. And it will be easy for the local people to develop the hiking trail. So sounds like a great plan. So I say, who else will be involved in this jungle trekking or the hiking trail? They say, oh, it's going to be camp on the top of the hill. So I was like, oh, okay, you can do camping. And it sounds great because in my life I've never done any camping before. Then I say, what else? I say, camping, exploring the trail, 100 packs. You're going to go with a medical team. You're going to go with our forest team. You're going with the local team. You're going with even the commando team. I was like, wow, even commando, they involved. So like even police, all the authorities, anything you can think of in terms of safety and security, all involved in this exploration trip. So I was like, wow, that's going to be a very awesome experience. So I decided I must go. But I have no idea, what is mean by exploration and hiking trip. Yeah. So I still remember when I arrived there, we get a briefing, and I just wear like t-shirt, a simple cotton pants, because I don't have like a proper hiking experience, but I get a boot. Okay, I definitely get a boots like waterproof, and I learned about like also like you need water. You go to camping, they say don't worry, all these camping gear we were ready for you, and then we're going to put you together with the commando. Then I was like, why you put me together with the commando? Seriously, I have no idea. I thought it was like maybe I'm tourist, I need to be well protected. And this is the first time, I was like having a great experience with our Malaysian army. We are going uphill. So I keep asking them, actually we're going to climb how high? They say like, it's going to be like at least 1,000 above, 1,000 meter above sea level. I was like, oh wow, 1,000 above sea level. So usually we go by jeep, because I used to went into Bukit Labu, the Maxwell Hill, but this time they're going to use the village trail. So from the village side, so the village is called, this area is called Anak Kurau, okay? And they have like many villages surrounding, So when they do their presentation, when I was, we're supposed to leave one night earlier, okay? We have to stay in the near to the mountain, in the hills, in the low side, no mountain hillside. We stay for one night, and then we hear the briefing. And along before I arrived, you know what I discovered? I discovered a rattan shop. So what did I buy? Ta-da! I buy a walking stick, and this is a pure rattan. And then I still remember when I bring out my rattan, when I bring out my rattan, my walking stick, and then all the authorities, all the frontliners, they were laughing. They said, oh, you see, these are the city people. They came from the city, where got people go hiking, use the tongkat. In Malay language, we call it tongkat, okay? So where got people using this like a walking stick? So I said, So I feel a little bit embarrassed, because I seriously have no idea like why they're laughing at me. But in my mind, I was just thinking like, okay, since it's exploration trip, so means there's no proper trail. So I'm not sure about like how dangerous, and whether I can, whether I have hanger, or whether I have like a proper hanger, for me to hold in case, because hiking you need to climb. So I have no idea at all. So anyway, I think it's okay, let people laugh at me. So I still insist on going with this. So the next day, we're going to start. We're actually going to start the trip. So when we start, and then we walk, keep walking. Oh my God, it's already 5 kilometers. So we were like, excuse me, actually, are we going hiking, or we just keep walking? They say, oh, you need some warm-up exercise. So I was like, okay, warm up about 5 kilometers, actually, to be honest. And then even though I'm already, most of my camping thing is my commandos, my friend of my soldiers is already helped me to carry. I'm actually walking like a princess, okay? But I still do carry my bags, yeah? So I was like really like exhausted, and I feel so thirsty. And what I made a great mistake was I just keep drinking plain water, which is I forgot to have salt, at least a simple salt, just make myself some salt water for the mineral or some energy drink. But I just keep drinking water, and I keep sweating, and I keep draining out myself. So that is the best part, because by the time when we arrive, at the bottom line, and they say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start hiking. I was like, now only you tell me you're going to start hiking. I was like, I already like 80% exhausted. So I'm not sure whether I'm able to do it. So I think we divided to 10 groups, because it's 100 of us, and basically we are the last group. So suddenly, there's one interesting man just appear in front of me. So I think during that time, his age he looks like about like 40 years old, around 40 years old. and a very tiny guy and very skinny. And I look at him, he just wear like t-shirt, and normally like a Bermudas, but very thin material Bermudas. And then I still remember clearly that he will holding he's like puffing his cigarette. But the cigarette is not like the normal cigarette. You see, usually the local cigarette, they just roll, with the tobacco paper. It's a very simple. So he was like, so he was saying that, why you guys walk so slow? Because I still remember when it was like, some time ago, I did pass by some very tiny coffee shop by the roadside. I think I met this guy. He was drinking his coffee. And then I hear the local people were shouting to him and say like, Pak Yas, jom, jalan dah. Kita dah bermula, kita nak pergi dah. And then he was like replying, kamu pergi dulu. So he was like, you guys go first, no worry. Okay, I will chase after you guys. So then suddenly he will just appear in front of us. And then I just asked, why is he? Then they start sharing with me, oh, this is your local guy. I was like, huh? This is my local guy. And he wears so simple, he don't even have a proper hiking shoe. And you know what type of shoe he has? He just have a rubber shoe. So I was like, okay, wearing a rubber shoe and you are ready to go hiking. And then he was like, he started leading us, and then along the way, he like, keep like teasing, especially me. He's like, you guys are city orang bandar. They always say like, you city guy, you city people. Why are you so slow? You have to walk faster. Then I feel like a little bit annoying, because I'm really exhausted. So I need to like walk, I think about like 10 minutes, then I need to rest. About 10 minutes, I need to rest. But I have to admit, at that time, 12 years ago, I believe I'm still young. Okay. So if you compare 12 years today now, I don't think I have confidence. Okay. So I still remember like halfway, we walk up, and then I look at it, it's like, actually how far? It looks like we already, from the morning, 8 o'clock we start. And then now it's already like 3, 4 o'clock. So actually, do we arrive? Is it how far we're going to approach our destination? So he says like, still lamanya, lambat lagi, kena naik sampai atas bukit. I was like, berapa bukit? It's like, how many hills I need to climb up? It's like, I keep, my feeling is I keep going up and up and up. So when until, and then sampai, when we reach in one station, I look at it, it's like the slope was like very steep, like 90 degrees. So I was like, you sure that no ropes and nothing, how I'm going to climb, because I'm not a proper trainer. So, but yes, he suddenly turned and talked to everyone and say that, why not let's have a new plan? Then we were like, okay, great, new plan. So what is your new plan? He said, okay, I'm going to show you my shortcut. So we were like, oh, that sounds great plan, because it's a shortcut. So we were like, is it like faster? Of course. And then is it climb lesser? Is it? Of course. That's why it's called a shortcut. So what does it look like? Come, just follow me. Don't worry. Okay, it's very easy. And at least you can reach the campsite by 5 o'clock. Because you must understand, when in the jungle, when you talk about 5 o'clock, is actually outside of the jungle. Let's say when you out from our current places, if you compare to the city, or to the lowland, is actually like when you say in the jungle 5 o'clock, it sounds like it's going to be dawn. Like it's actually going to be like sunset. So most likely it's going to be look like 7+. The night is getting dark already, and that's the reason why everybody it start like, especially I see my commandos friends, the gentlemen there, they were like, okay, we also have another plan. Then I said, wait, what is the plan now? They say like, okay, just in case we can't reach the campsite, what we're going to do is we're going to camp here. I was like, camp here? Wait a moment. What do you mean by camp here? First, I look at it, I was in the slope, number one. Number two, when we follow Pak Yas going through so-called the shortcut, believe me, that trail is actually by the edge side. So means it's like I'm actually at the cliff. So means the length for my the trail for the length is exactly for one person. So you can't have two person, you know, in the trail. Only have one person. And ladies and gentlemen, let me share to you. In my whole life, you know what I'm afraid of? Two things. One is height. I have the phobia of height. And then at that moment, when I look down, because I'm just by the cliffside, right? So it's either I have to touch by the wall of the hill and keep, you know, try to grab something, and I don't have a glove. You see, the biggest mistake is, as I say, I don't have experience, so I don't know I should prepare a glove. So I don't have a glove. So what I'm going to do is I have to touch, and then at the same time I look at it. I only have a choice: is either I jump down, means I die. Okay, definitely today you don't see Irina. That's for sure. Or I have to keep going. And then when I reach the so-called Ya's working station, because he used to work in this mountain for many years. You know what his job? He's actually a miner. He's a miner. So I said, what you mining? What you actually dig it out? He said, tin. So no wonder their new plan. What is their new plan? Their new plan is they're going to do a camp in the small little tiny hole of the mining site. I was like, shh, are you sure? And these are already, the mining site have been closed for long. They already stopped as mining, and we do not know how safe it is. And trust me, I actually did explore and try to crawling in. It's not suitable for camp at all. Then I asked the commando, so what is your next plan? He said, okay, never mind. We have hammock, right? So we're going to just hang in the tree. This is how our training. But excuse me, sir, I never been in this training. So how are you going to ask me to sleep between just a tiny hammock and between the trees? And if I look down, that is above 1,000 meter sea level. No joke, no joke. I say no, 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 no. That definitely, this is not a great plan. So don't push me and don't make me to stay here. So they were like, okay, actually this side is really not far, but we just have to pushing ourselves, walk faster a bit because it's already 5:30. So by 6 it's totally getting dark. So means we only left half an hour. So I look at it. So how? And you know, when you walk up in the tropical rainforest, the interesting is sometimes you find so many palm tree, and those palm tree is actually full with the sharp thorns, and you just can't hold it. Then this is really saved my life. So until today, this is one of my always the best memory. So what I did is, luckily I bring 4 walking sticks. So we have 4 walking sticks. So we have to hook to the stick each other, and then let pulling me up. So that is one of the way. Okay, or I can actually hook near to the branch for the palm tree, which is full with the thorns. So at least I do not hurt myself. So I have to say that it's hard for you to imagine, but trust me, during that moment, that real moment, in my mind, is I learned, and I'm telling myself, Irina, life is just about 1 second. Okay, it's either you move on or you will die. So to be honest, until today, I really glad that, you know, although sometimes I think regret also, like, wow. And to be honest, I didn't share the real story, you know, to my parents, especially my mom. You know, if I were to tell her the full story, the truth at that time, I think she will ban me for my whole life, that I cannot go to any natural site. So today is okay. This is 12 years ago. So it's fine. So anyway, what happened was we arrived the actual campsite, and so we were like just being instructed just to do a camping. And then we were like, okay, actually that campsite, because it's an exploration trip, So everything is not confirmed. That's why you need the exploration to find out whether this could be designed, for a domestic tourism or for the international tourism in the later. So they assign that, okay, you guys going to keep camp here. So I think that whole night, the interesting thing is the commando. It's because they can just sleep in the hammock. They just need the tree between, and they can hang themselves and just sleep like that. So they just keep reminding and say that please make sure your campfire, your fire never off the fire. Make sure the fire flame is burned the whole night. Smoke, at least see the fire flame. So I think that whole night I wasn't sleep very well, seriously, because it's your first time. So if you're gonna ask me like, Irina, what do you think about the camping? The first experience was really not great, but in the other way, I feel glad is because I did that, and that is really helpful in the future, especially now when I have a really tough experience. But this is really good for my preparation and also for my great experience to develop, especially for ecotourism side. Whether it's a campsite, hiking, and at least from this trip, from that 2009 trip, I really learned a lot, and that is I'm very grateful. So I remember Pak Yas until today. And do you know something great about this Pak Yas? He was an ex miner, and he also a very good cook. He's awesome. So he cooked not for one people, not for two people. He can cook for the whole villages. So one of his business in his village is actually, since he's no longer doing the mining anymore, his hobby is just like to climb up the hill anytime he wants, searching for some fresh herbs, and then looking, for some wild chicken. Okay, looking for some wild chicken, and then he really make a great cook. And during that trip also, now I understood that choosing the campsite is very, very important. Yeah, because that night, actually, why they were advising us, make sure the fire have been on all the time. Because until when we clean up, we left the site, then they only share us. What we resting part is actually the highway for the animals. So for a non-experienced, seriously, we do not know, because all of them look the site is the same. Okay, and then when they just sharing to us, this is a highway of the animal, then it's a wild jungle. So any type of animals, not just about wild boar, anything could be passing by. So that's why if you go to the campsite or you do some very natural site to do your camping, just be aware of that. Yeah, so you have to choose the real proper right campsite. But as I say, my experience was an exploration trip. Okay, so everything is not ready. So today I would not advise everybody to go. The places are not ready unless you are lucky like me. You really follow the 100 packs and all the different profession, and they are all the jungle experts. Okay, the rescue team, the doctor team, the contingency, so then no issue, and with the local experience group of villagers, then that will be a different story. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you enjoy my beginning session, and because of this trip, I met another interesting guy. At that time, he was the chief among the chief. He's the organizer, and he's also one of the very key person that developed on the village tour and also the village products, and also helping the local youth in the surrounding a few villages there. So have a look on this short video.
Can you see many firms around, very raw.
Tidak masuk hutan ni. Antara pokok yang paling bahaya tau.
Dia ni sini.
Tu jumpa ada tukar daun dia macam tu kan. Kalau you jumpa, jangan sentuh.
Okay.
Kalau sentuh, badan you akan lantai.
Okay. So this kind of plants, if you in the jungle, you have to be careful a little bit, yeah, because it's really create your skin itchiness, yeah. Don't touch. So the best is don't touch anything.
Kalau ni jelatang.
Jelatang.
Kalau you Google tengok kesan daun jelatang tu.
Tapi dia macam like daun biasa saja.
Dia macam biasa lembut. Daun dia lembut.
Yeah, daun.
Pokok dia pun lembut.
Because very soft texture.
Dia macam obor-obor. You tengok lembut kan. Tapi dangerous.
This kind of jelatang, they call it the pokok jelatang, the jelatang trees, yeah, jelatang plants. Very soft texture. But the moment you touch, oh my god, itchy, itchy. Don't simply touch anything. Đâu? 唔係俾我窒死咗，好多啊！啊！So disgusting are you?
So you know what? I really miss the jungle, especially trail like what you have just experienced it. In fact, it was just happened like last year during the period when we were like after the lockdown of MCO. So we managed to have some I call it the green buffer zone time. Okay, so I quickly, because I miss the jungle so much, and I miss Sabri. So just the gentleman that you just met, his name is Sabri. So we've been working together for so many years. Okay, we have been developed, a lot of like experiences, and also helping the villagers, and also helping the surrounding kampong, and let the other tourists more on not just experience, but with the education, learn about the Malay culture, and also we are sharing about why jungle is important. And we like the challenge. The challenge is we never bring people into the experiences. It's like we just want them to feel the world. So just now in the video clip is we are sharing to you, it's more on like when there was not a proper trail to be developed yet. It's more on my exploration, because I can't show you my 2009. Okay, and this is recent. This was last year, and we happened to found another new site, new place, and Sabri has his plan, and I'm glad that he still continue. And today he not just only as a youth anymore after 12 years, but I still like his spirit, because he never give up, and he always show his positive vibe to me, and always say that I always want to help people, not just only helping myself, but helping people. So currently what he did was he also helped like others, especially in Malaysia we have like some farm, but really deep into the jungle, but it's still owned by the private, but they belongs to some senior citizen. But usually their children maybe didn't show really much interested. So what he did was he's helping them, in the agriculture work. But at the same time, he also like try to bring more job and work, to others people. Yeah. So I think that is awesome about Sabri. That I always, when I miss my jungle, I definitely looking for him. And he will introduce me all kinds of fruits and food, from the jungle. So I hope when the post-pandemic world, or when the zone is, currently, we are still in the recovery in the different phases. I'm really looking forward to visit him soon, and I really dream to cook, using all the fresh ingredients in the jungle. And then remember just now the small little tiny leech, the leech, actually leech is the best friend. Actually, I used to scared of leech, but today I learned to love them. Because I keep telling myself leech is good, because leech will help you, especially I have allergies. So every time when my skin, rashes coming and I have allergies, itchy and all this, I always like, time to go for jungle, time to go for jungle. You know why? Because I need the leech to help me suck away all my toxins. I know it sounds disgusting to you, but that's the truth, okay? So in the future, don't just kill the leech. If you happen into the jungle, if there's a leech, I know it's like, like a little bit like disgusting, or in Malay we call it geli, like geli you feel, but it's good. Think of the positive. Every creatures that the creator create in this planet is always with good purpose, okay? And that is how we need a good, healthy ecosystem. So I hope you enjoy my sharing today, and just keep enjoying my small little exploration with Sabri. Okay, so I hope to see you again next week, 8:30, half an hour sharing on my past experience once upon a time. Thank you. Happy weekend.
Like a machine.
I forgot this piece.
Kena okay. Two pieces up. 2 pieces down. 2 pieces up. Yeah. Right. Mudah. Boleh tolong kami buat kerja ni.
Asking you to stay back to help him.